It's like you telling me that y'all couldn't defeat this man, but Ant-Man could. Come on. What's up, fam? We back again, and today we are reviewing Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Now, I did a trailer reaction for this a few months ago, and this has been really high on my radar. With the addition of Jonathan Majors coming on board as Kang, the new big bad of the MCU, I was just stoked. He's a dope actor. He has all the necessary tools to implement that same ferocity and fear that Thanos had. So I was like, hell yeah, I'm on board. All the way on board. The trailers also showed, some weight to him, some menace, some savagery. Not a villain that you thinking you can just brush off. Somebody that's a true threat. So I was super happy to see them go in this direction. Unfortunately, the film is nothing like the trailers. So this will be a spoiler review because it's just not worth it to do a non-spoiler review. The movie's not that great. Actually, not only is it not that great, the movie's pretty awful. Outside of any scene with Jonathan Majors in it, I don't think I liked any part of the movie. I'm gonna be honest. The dialogue, this is one of the first times in a Marvel movie where the dialogue is just god awful. It is filled with cheesy line after cheesy line after predictable line after cheesy line. It's terrible. Nearly everything that they say you can predict as an audience member because it's been said over and over again in so many different forms of media, just movies, TV shows, whatever. So the general premise of the movie is they go to the Quantumania, get stuck, and they find Kang, and he wants to get out. That's pretty much it. That's the general premise of the movie. And there's really not much more to go off of in here. You have the through line of the film is getting back time. That's what Kang uses to offer anyone that he sees is in his way that he could use to assist him and not have them be against him. He says, I can give you more time with your family. And I did like that aspect of the movie. Something that it's inherently selfish. It's going to make you want to do that for your own reasons. If you can give me back more time with my family, even if I have to sacrifice, some stuff that could make it worse, I'm going to take that deal. Because Kang also would say, I'll give you back your time with your family and your universe will be safe. But he's going to do some destructive stuff. It's a catch-22 though. So I did like that aspect of it, that Kang wasn't just trying to overpower them. He was trying to offer them a way out, according to him. But it's just a lot of stuff just fall really flat. The jokes are awful. The jokes are god awful. There's a moment, and it's Cassie Lang is Scott's daughter. There's a moment where, and forgive me for jumping around, but there's a moment where MODOK shows up, and he's Darren Cross from the first Ant-Man movie. He shows up, they do some fighting, then 30 minutes later down the line, he's turning over a new leaf, and the thing that made him turn over a new leaf was literally Cassie. Him and Cassie Lang were fighting, and she has her own Ant-Man costume, and he's sitting there in the costume, defeated, looking like just dumb as shit, and Cassie's like, "Well, Darren, just don't be a dick, okay? Just be less of a dick." And he's like, "All right, I'll just not be a dick." And then when they're fighting Kang later down the line, he comes in. Kang's holding this barrier open, and MODOK comes in. He's like, "I don't want to be a dick. I'm gonna help." Oh, it was so cringe. Just so much. There was so much cringe dialogue where it was just unnatural. That people would not say these things. People would not repeat these things. It was either cringe, corny, or predictable, cliche. that's really about the gist of it. I definitely thought they would give Kane more airtime. I understand that. I do understand that this isn't Kang's origin story, but if you're going to be introducing this man in a, this is his first feature film, we gotta have something, more than this, because this doesn't really make me excited to see Kang. Well, yes and no, because Jonathan Majors is dope, but it's like, okay, how how is he actually gonna win? Because spoiler alert, as you can see by the title, he loses in this movie to freaking Ant-Man, and that's just bonkers to me. You can say, well, he didn't lose. He just got absorbed by the whatever the thing was. He lost. He didn't get what the end goal was for him to get out. He did not. That didn't happen at that moment. Whether there's some behind the scenes stuff, whatever, did not happen. He lost to Ant Man. To me, that's not a good look. You need your. He should have won. I definitely thought somebody was gonna die. You can. I feel like if you're gonna introduce Kang, show me a reason why he's threatening. Like two people should have just not made it out of this film. Whether it's the Hope's parents, like the original Ant Man and Wasp, like those two should have just been X'd. Somebody should have been X'd. This is Kang. We got to do something big. So as far as the dialogue goes, so you have Janet, who knows Kang from being in the quantum realm, with him for 30 years or something like that, and the entire like first third of the movie, the only thing that she's saying is, I just need you to listen to me, okay? We just have to figure it out, and you just gotta get out of here, okay? I don't have time to tell you about Kang, all right? I can't tell you about him right now. And they make it seem like this dude's Lord Voldemort, because nobody says his name. His name is not mentioned, I don't feel like, until like halfway through the movie. They just refer to him, they say him, he, that's it. You're like, we know who it is. Why are you not saying the name? It just makes no sense to me from a director standpoint or a writer standpoint. It just didn't make any sense. This is going to be I think this movie is going to cause Marvel to, like, they're going to have to diverge. Because this is just awful. This is just bad. It's been a really rough string of movies for them recently. There's not a lot, in phase 4 and beginning of phase 5, there's not a lot for not just MCU fans, but just fans of movies in general to grasp onto, So I'm hoping that, Marvel understands to make a movie feel like a movie. Like make the dialogue feel like natural dialogue. It seems like too many times they're like using filler words just to get to the next, the next beat in the movie. Like, okay, we just have to get to the end where they fight. And that's exactly what this movie feels like, because nothing seems to matter, and the acting in this movie is really not good. One of the perfect examples of just god awful acting is there's like this warrior, this female warrior that's like the leader of like the rebellion or whatever. When Scott and his daughter Cassie, when they first come to the quantum realm, they get separated. These people find them, and she is the leader of these, like the rebellion or whatever, or not the rebellion, but the people going against Kang. And my God, she has about it. She has about as much acting skill as like a Rock or Plank from Ed, Edd n Eddy. Like if you would have put Plank from Ed, Edd n Eddy in place of her, I probably would have had more fun, because at least he has a smile on his face. She has like just like a constipation face the whole time, and there's no way that's acting. Not just the face, but the way she gave her lines. She delivered every line literally the exact same. It wasn't like Drax, you know what I mean, from the Guardian series. This was just terrible. So that's another example of a negative of the movie, man. The acting is just not that good. You have characters that are there that don't really provide anything. You're just kind of ready to get over it. And the dialogue's just not good. More example of bad dialogue or corny dialogue is at the end, Cassie's on like a hologram broadcast to the quantum realm area that they're in, and she's trying to give like this motivational speech, and it just doesn't work. It's super cheesy. her delivery is just not good. And then you're thinking, you don't even have a good enough connection with these people for them to care about what you're saying. Like, you're trying to get everybody to rise up, but what have you done in the movie for the audience member, let alone the people in the movie, to feel connected to the situation? Like, it just doesn't add up. So this is just a hard pass, man. There's a lot of other stuff that I could talk about in the film, but there's really not anything to say that's gonna make. There's nothing I can say that's gonna make you want to go see this film, and I wouldn't want you to go see this film. It's a waste of your time and money. I don't like dogging on any movie. I want every movie I see to be good. I want every movie I see to be fun experience. It doesn't have to be the best thing ever, but I at least want to come out of it feeling like it earned my time and my money. And this film just doesn't earn either of those two things. This is not even a watch on the airplane, watch on a cruise. Just don't watch this movie. And it sounds bad to say, but you know what I'll say? Just watch the scenes with Jonathan Majors in them. Just watch the King scenes, because he's the only one that seems to have like dope lines and things like that. I'll talk about a few positives. Like, the Kane costume is fire. Like, they've been doing really good with certain costumes here and there. I'm not gonna lie, that one's really dope. Reminded me of how they brought Mysterio to life. The Mysterio costume, I wasn't sure how they were gonna do it, and they made it fit perfectly for this era. So the Kane costume was phenomenal to me. Jonathan Majors, for the lack that they gave him, he did do a good job. Like, every time he was on screen, I actually cared and I wanted to see more. But the problem is, it's just not enough of him. And I thought he would have, he has some dope lines. I'm not gonna lie. He has a line towards the end when he's about to go up against, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and he's talking mad shit. He's like, do you know how many rebellions I've crushed? Do you know how many Avengers I've killed? I am Kang! Like, that's what I wanted, man. I needed more of that. That's what I wanted. Like, my favorite line of his is actually from the trailer, when him and Ant-Man are, having like that one-on-one fight, and he like stomps on his fucking helmet and breaks it, and he's like, do you think you could win? He got some lines in here, man, and that's my only saving grace, actually, is that in these next upcoming, TV shows and films with Kang in them, that they're going to give Jonathan Majors, like, give this man all the screen time. Give this man all the screen time, because he will deliver. His acting is top notch, and he knows how to give off lines, man. He just knows, how to convey tone, facial expressions for lines, and use them in the appropriate manner for the scenes that he's in at that particular time. So that's the only saving grace, for me of the movie. So there are 2 end credit scenes, and I mean, they're okay. The first one really had me feeling some type of way, because it showed why so much of the movie things just don't make sense. So you have 3 different Kangs from, each from 3 different universes. And they say, one of them says, oh, he's dead. I know he's dead. In reference to the Kang that they just fought in Quantumania. Or in the quantum realm. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, these guys look like straight beasts. It's like, you telling me that y'all couldn't defeat this man, but Ant-Man could. Come on. The power scale, man, it gotta match. Like, it just has to match for it to make sense. Like, in the movie, Kang has literally these lasers that just disintegrates people. Except for Ant-Man and the Wasp, apparently. I'm like, how are you not starching them? My man got beat up by some ants, bro. Like, he was the best part of the movie, and y'all kind of did my guy dirty with that one. And let's be honest, I bet if we polled everybody that saw this movie, I bet most of them wanted Kang to win. I bet they did, because something about a villain that we root for, man. It's just something about a villain. As you can see, got a villain right here. So it's just something about them that we really like, especially when they know how to talk good. So if I had to, wrap up my final thoughts on this movie, man, it's a hard pass. Wouldn't waste any time or money on it. Disney Plus, just skip it. Wait a few months and then watch a few scenes on the internet or something, man. I'm gonna be honest. Like, there's really no need to go out and see it. All in all, the future of the MCU is looking grim to me now, because there's just been so many more misses than hits recently, and nothing, new. I did enjoy, Wakanda Forever, because that movie, they were acting in that movie. All right, they were actually acting. And a lot of the other movies, man, it's just the MCU formula, and it's old at this point. It's actually old at this point, and I do fear that if Marvel they don't turn it around soon, man, it's gonna be a problem. It's going to be a problem. So hopefully they do fix it and start to just give me something new. Not something new necessarily, but switch it up. Switch it up and make movies feel like a movie again. So those are my last, final thoughts on Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Let me know down below if you guys enjoyed it. If you did, I'm happy for you. Everybody has their own opinion, and I would much rather you enjoy a movie than, hate the movie as much as I did for any movie. So let me know down below if you enjoyed it, and are you excited for any future MCU films? Thanks for watching, fam. Peace.
Every star in the evening sky seems to light up after tonight. Let's go further, let's get high till the planets